Disclaimer: I am just a humble Genshin Impact fan. I do not own any of the rights to Genshin Impact, or any of the content within it, such as the lore books. Those specifically belong to Hoyoverse. What I do have, however, are friends with things like learning disabilities, such as dyslexia and ADHD, or very little free time, making reading the lore books either in-game or on wiki pages hard for them. Our solution to these problems has been for me to make these recordings so that they can listen to them and still get to enjoy Genshin lore like the rest of us. I have chosen to upload these recordings to YouTube as a way of sharing them with other fans within the community who might be in similar situations. I am admittedly no voice actress, trained narrator, or video editor, but I have tried my best, so please be gentle with me. Therefore, without further ado, let's get into today's story. Treasured Tales of the Chouken Shinkageuchi. Sold by Kuroda at Yae Publishing House. The first part of a traditional Inazuma novel. This particular volume is also known as Shinkageuchi and was once a restricted text. It contains a fantastical tale about the first Raiden Shogun and her kagemusha, depicting the benevolent sagacity of the first shogun and the great valor of her kagemusha. However, due to the great popularity of another book, known colloquially as Raiden Reincarnation, many people became interested in stories of this kind. This book thus wound up being published in a haphazard manner. It is often said that the drawn bow is like the quartered moon, and studying the blade is like a circle of transparent jade. It is said that when Narukami came to her people, she brought with her the knowledge of crafting swords. After thousands of years and hundreds of bountiful harvests, mortal swordsmiths were at last able to make swords that would please even Narukami herself. Thus did the Grand Shrine and the Shogunate enact this divine ceremony. They collected the greatest swords in the world and offered them up to the shrine, thus naming these blades Goshinto. This ceremony was a very lively one indeed, and the practice persists to the present period. However, there are many behind-the-curtain matters concerning the Goshinto that few know of. No famous craftsman merely forges one blade in one sitting. The greatest of their works are known as shinichi and are given a lovely name before being offered to the craftsman's lord or deity. These are not built for taking lives and are to remain pure. The others are known as kageuchi and will be given to retainers for them to use as weapons. These will often be used to shed blood and thus be stained with impurity and filth. From the day Narukami Gongen, the first shogun, began her dominion over the land of Inazuma, she was accompanied by her younger twin sister. Shin and Kage, light and dark they were, mediating and holding court, ordering and giving battle. The younger of the two was named A, and if her name were to be written plainly, it would likely be the word for shadow, which she was in relation to the first shogun, to whom she would become the successor. As most know, only the seven emerged from the rack and ruin of the war that rolled across the mortal world like a crimson storm. Though the Shadow Shogun was divinely skilled in martial arts and unsurpassed with a blade, she believed herself little more than a warrior, with little understanding for mortal hearts. Thus she chose to give up her bodily form, helping her sister to ascend to the heavenly citadel and obtain dominion over Inazuma. Shortly after, the true shogun, Makoto, set up her shogunate and began rule over the land. Remembering their bond, she recalled A's divine will and reforged her body, thus returning her sister to her side once more as her kagemusha. Other information. The cover of the book is the same pattern as that on the Raiden Shogun's name card, Raiden Shogun Enlightenment. In her voice line, more about A too, A states that Treasured Tales is fairly accurate regarding the events leading up to the war against Orobashi. However, she says that after that point, the book idealizes her motivations and actions. There is also a fun fan theory that this book was written by Yae Miko, which I'm 100% here for, by the way. Other names. Sources. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Ad Astra Abyssosque.